Go.
Hi everyone, just wanted to do a quick video to talk about our Lotus birthing experience, and I've brought my partner Thomas into the mix.
What's good, fam?
To share his perspective on it as well. So just wanted to share a little bit about how we came across this practice and why we decided to implement it as part of our birthing experience with Arlo. So I actually came across Lotus birthing with this book I'm going to share with you here. It's called Womb Awakening. This book has been a godsend. I would highly recommend it. So many amazing practices and rituals and just ancient wisdom to do with conception, birth, pregnancy, postpartum, all of that. So yeah, I came across Lotus birthing in this book, and so the concept is that basically leaving baby attached to the placenta after birth. So instead of cutting it after their baby's born, you're leaving it attached. And the positive benefits behind that for Baba is that all of the blood that's in the placenta, it has a chance to come through the umbilical cord and into baby, because the placenta retains a large volume of that blood that has a lot of nutrients and nourishment in it. So when you cut the cord straight away, then that's just like the baby doesn't get to absorb that blood back into their body through that cord. So this process can take up to an hour apparently after Bub's born. That's kind of the estimation. And so that's one of the physical benefits, right? One of the energetic benefits is that the placenta is seen as the twin of the baby, so the kind of like the guardian, and it's there with Bub through the pregnancy, and it's like a sort of an energetic counterpart for baby. So when they're cutting the cord and disconnecting that connection, it can be quite abrupt for the baby energetically to be so quickly separated from its energetic counterpart that's been with it through this entire journey. So when you leave the cord attached, you're allowing that process to happen gradually and naturally in a way that is more beneficial to the baby's soul, to his spirit. And then you get to have a little ceremony and and help Bub really transition from that world into this world. So that process can take anywhere from 5 to, well, what they said was 5 to like 10 days. Our experience was that
Longer than that.
Well,
take up to a couple weeks.
Couple weeks, right? So our baby, he actually, his placenta naturally detached around the day 5 mark. Yeah. So yeah, we were drawn to this practice. I might let Tom share a little bit about his experience with that, but we were drawn to this for the benefits and for the energetic benefits as well. And we also wanted to have ritual around bringing the placenta back and giving it to Pachamama, which connects baby's soul to the Gaia's earth mother grid. And yeah, so we found it a little bit challenging just kind of navigating with the umbilical cord, because it dries up a little bit, which makes it a little bit hard. And the hospital told us that they wanted us to keep the site very clean, and not to touch it too much or let it get disturbed too much, and that if it became red and infected, then that would be a cause for concern. But with the hospital, they actually they were really trying to push for us to not keep it attached, because they had a fear that it was going to create sepsis, major infection and sepsis, and which would be fatal for the baby. So yeah, the hospitals, they are not really, if you're going to give birth in a hospital, just be aware that they're probably going to really push for you to not have a Lotus birth, and they'll make you sign paperwork and waivers and everything. And like in all honesty, it's really just common sense that you just want to like keep it clean, keep the site clean, keep it free from any kind of, you know, disturbance. And as long as you do that and you just checking up on it, then everything will be fine. Like obviously if it gets red and inflamed, then you would take the baby to the doctors and you would get it checked out and then, you know, take it from there. But when we kind of assessed the risks, we sort of felt that it wasn't, like there's other things that are medical procedures that can create the same sort of risks as well. It's just that this one's not a very commonly used practice. So yeah, I'll hand it over to Tom. If Tom, you want to share anything about what you felt through your experience with Lotus birthing?
Yeah, so this experience was beautiful, and I think at the end of the day, what Kalisha mentioned is like this is not just a tangible physical practice. Like this is a practice of bringing both the emotional and spiritual aspects into it, because as she said, it can be very traumatic getting the placenta cut off straight away, and for the baby. And what happens is with that separation, there can be a whole lot of like emotional, spiritual, even mental, I don't want to say issues, maybe we'll say, long term, because it is a part of us, it's a part of our soul. And when something like that just gets cut off and thrown away or used for whatever they use it for these days, didn't really vibe with us. And I feel like it was bringing it home, it felt right. Navigating through this whole process, it felt really good. There was challenging times, more so just tangibly moving it around and trying to move the baby with it. That was our only real issue. And me going through the pregnancy and the birth for the first time, I was a bit of a worrywart in some situations. Like when it did get a little bit red, but that's just what happens. It's like a scab. So yeah, I think overall the process was really beautiful, and when it finally dropped off, you could see with Arlo that it was a beautiful experience for him, and he was not crying, he was not all over the place. He was not like, which is what happens when they do cut it. It's traumatic, and he was great. It was beautiful. It fell off. We planted it, and we planted a fig tree on top of it, which is a tree that is connected with him, and Kalisha's was told. It's a beautiful experience. And yeah, the hospital is going to be the biggest challenge if you are having a hospital birth. Like these guys that are so programmed in the system will try to inspire fear into you and just tell them to fuck off, really, which is what we did. Well, I did. Kalisha, yeah, we got there. But it was a beautiful experience, and I really recommend every single person to go through this experience, because it is incredibly empowering.
Yeah.
And beautiful to be a part of, and it just fills my heart.
Yeah. The only thing I would say is if you want to encapsulate the placenta, then this might not be a practice for you, because obviously for hygienic purposes, encapsulating the placenta after, letting it sort of be after birth, you kind of have to do that straight away when baby's born. Like to encapsulate the placenta, you've got to kind of give it to the people who are going to do that process. So that might be the only thing if you're considering encapsulation. We made our own little concoction, which I've still got some left, which was super simple. Himalayan salt, lavender essential oil, and fresh rosemary from the garden. And that's it. That's literally, I think there's some fresh lavender in there too. And that was literally what we made up. And we just, when he was first born, Tom actually prepared the placenta. So what did you do? Did you wash it?
Yeah.
So
I washed it, cleaned it out, just under water, and then we put it in a.
You wrapped it up in some cloth
with
some of this stuff, and wrapped it up in like muslin cloth.
Yeah.
And we just kept it like in a little plastic container to the side of baby at all times, and Tom just checked it every so often.
Yeah, I cleaned it once a day.
Once a day.
No, the first 2 days, cleaned it out twice a day.
Yeah.
And every day after that was once a day.
Yeah. And just like keep topping it up with fresh mixture of this stuff.
Because this helps it to bring all the moisture out of the placenta, and it also provides these nutrients through the umbilical cord to the baby as well.
Yeah.
Energetically.
Yeah.
So, and this just helps to dry the cord out, and then it just falls off naturally.
Basically, yeah, keeps it clean, and it also helps with the smell.
Yes, it's true.
Because there can be a bit of a smell with it if you don't kind of clean it properly and then use this and have the cloths to wrap it up in. So it is a little bit of extra work, but if hubby's on board, it's a really great practice to do together and share together as a couple with your new baby, and it's quite, it's lovely. So if anybody has anything they want to ask, any questions, feel free to reach out to us, and we'd be happy to answer your questions, and I'll share this recipe on the page. So is there anything you wanted to say before we jump off?
If hubby's not on board, give him a slap and tell him to step the fuck up.
All right, guys, so much love. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Peace.